Good morning everybody, this is day 2 of our South Island adventure, and we're just riding south of Alexandra at the moment. Look at the countryside, isn't it amazing? Just rocks and stones, not much else, not a lot of green grass. We're heading into the mountains by the looks. I've never been to this part of New Zealand before, so pretty spectacular. Look at these rocks, they're just amazing. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. At this point, just as I go through the gate, you see Phil had opened the gate and was waiting. My brother Peter was on the other side waiting for Phil, and they're just going to stay behind me for a while because it's incredibly steep up here. The camera doesn't show it, but when you get a chance to see my shadow, I'm actually right up on top of the fuel tank, as far forward as I can get to try and keep my balance well forward and you know, make it easier to control. It really was really steep, very, very steep. As we go a little bit further, you'll see Phil's had enough and he goes whistling past on his 990. but Peter stays behind me. I think he was just a little bit worried about me and my shoulder because it was really sore overnight and got very stiff. But I'm riding it off reasonably well. I'm only going slow, but that's okay. There's no great hurry. As we make our way up the Old Man Range, this is called. It's south of Alexandria. They call it the Old Man Range, and I think during the winter, right up until the end of November, I think this year, this whole hill or range of hills was covered in snow. Look at this barren landscape. Probably covered in snow all winter. A bit like bloody Stonehenge. Rocks sticking up. Kupuai Conservatory. It was quite funny here because we'd obviously reached the top of the Old Man Range, and I don't know why we were sitting around waiting and talking. I couldn't hear what the other guys were talking about, but then I think they must have been plotting and scheming and wondering what the day was going to bring, because this day is a new addition to the adventure. No one had ever done this route before. We're going from here down to a place in northern Southland called Riversdale, but there's a lot of off-road stuff, a lot of challenge sections. And I think the boys thought, looking at this, oh well, it's going to be an easy day today. It's only 400 k's. We'll be right. We'll take it easy. And as we'll see in a moment, Phil came up, and here he is now talking to me, saying that they want me to go first because I'm the slowest in the group, and they'll all just toddle along behind me because it's easy going. We've got plenty of time. It's going to be an easy day today, and not to worry. So off I went. Phil had to go first because Phil always goes first, but he went first, and another guy went with him. But the rest of them all stayed behind me, and it's quite frustrating riding along when you know you're slow, and you've got a lot of good riders behind you, and you think they want to get past. But I soon learnt that they had put me there, and it's not a race, and I just had to ride my own speed, my own pace, and just deal with it. And if the guys wanted to go past, there was ample opportunity they could. So I got over it after a wee while. Little did they know, though, that the day was about to turn to custard for all of us. I didn't do the challenge section, which you'll see at the end of this little section. I went another way, but things didn't go too well for me. And the other guys carried on through a route called Piano Flat. Now, I didn't go with them, but I heard the stories once they got to the other end, and it was really funny. So with assumed permission of the organisers who have posted photographs of that particular section on Facebook, I'm going to put in a couple of snaps just so you can get an idea of what it was like, because I missed it all. So anyway, onwards and upwards. We'll carry on along the top of the Old Man Range here, and we'll catch up with you again shortly. Now this all looks very nice on this track, but very shortly we got into a place called Piano Flat where most of the other guys went. It was a challenge section which I missed, so I went the other way, had my own little accident. I hit a rock, went over the handlebars, smashed my camera, smashed my shoulder again, and it took me a good hour to get down off the mountain, and then I rode around the long way to meet them at the Riversdale pub for lunch, which was the agreed meeting point. In the meantime, the other guys went through this performance, through this big bog. They all got stuck one way or another, but they got through, eventually got through. and it sort of shows the great camaraderie and friendship and helpfulness of bike riders. These photos are care of the organisers who posted them on Facebook, so thanks very much, guys, for allowing me to use those. I really appreciate it. After they had gone through this part, apparently there was some very technical trail riding type of riding for the rest of the day, which they all enjoyed by all accounts. Part of it was going through this river. It was quite a wide river, reasonably deep. It was fast flowing, so a few people struggled, but they all got through it. And it's just part of the challenge. So all in all, everyone had a really, really enjoyable day. We all finished up at the Riversdale pub, and there was another food shop across the road where I was as well. We didn't stay long because it took a long time to get to here, and it was a long way back again, so didn't muck around and got back on the road and went back again. I didn't.
Well, back from another day of adventure riding, and I'm afraid things didn't go too well. Had a crash. It was just a freak accident. There was a big rock on the road, on the track, which I hit, and I wasn't going that fast, but it sent me over the handlebars anyway and smashed a bit of the fairing off the side there, so she's a bit more streamlined than she was. The handlebars have been bent backwards, and the forks were twisted. I've twisted them back straight and they seem to be okay, although just looking at them now, might have a bit of a bend. Can't see that the rim's damaged at all. It's riding okay. I rode it after I had the crash. I'd ridden about 350 k's and it's going okay. This was holding up well. It's a bit dirty. And there's my tool tube that broke off as well. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, back at the motel in Alexandria now, and going to go and have a shower.
Yes, once I got back to the motel, I had a time to reflect on the day's events. What happened after my crash was I found my way down off the mountain and around to Riversdale for lunch, but I was in no condition to ride the same way back again. So speaking to one of the local competitors, Willie, thanks very much, Willie, for your advice. He sent me up the road to Lumsden and then on to Queenstown and then through the gorge back to Cromwell. It was another 250 k's, but it was on the tarmac and it was relatively easy riding for me. The only hazard was the tourists, thousands of tourists on the road. So that's how I got back to the motel. So thanks again for watching. See you in the next